We're back again. This is the One Question Series, and it's July 4th, 2026. Dr. Yafabe, do you think the Asian business boycott is justified?
Oh, for those of you that are listening, thank you for joining in. Yes, Mick. Unfortunately, I do think it's justified. I do comprehend what the Asian community is saying when they say, why should we all be punished? Because one Chinese guy killed one of your children. Well, flipping, God dang it, one of our children is too many. And one Chinese guy is not the only person that's taken out one of our children. Other Asian communities and Asian businesses in our community, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, we don't always know, have harmed our people inside our communities. And I've heard the narrative, well, you guys are nuts. You just can't boycott all Asians. Nobody said we're boycotting all Asians. We said we're boycotting all Asian businesses in our communities. Well, you want to just boycott China and Japan? No, we're not necessarily boycotting China or Japan, even though China has the Natasha doll that we didn't even know about until after this boycott. Even though the Chinese are in Africa and communities in Africa abusing African toddlers, which we didn't know about until, well, a lot of us didn't know about it until after this boycott. But we weren't making it about global Asia. No, that's not what it was. We were making it about the Asian businesses inside our communities and when we go outside of our communities that are disrespectful and rude and hostile to our people. It's like, hurry up and buy and get out. You really don't want us in there, even though your business is in our community. Hurry up and buy and get out. That's how you treat it. You're followed around, you're treated like a thief. Um, I'll give you an example of what happened to me years ago. My son, who was, oh, I think he's maybe 43, 44 now, he just had a birthday um, in June. Um, when he was 1 year old, going on two, for his second birthday, and he was a toddler. He could walk, but he could also fall. As a walking toddler that was still 1 year old. For his second birthday, we went into an Asian store in Southern California that was on the outskirts of the city of LA. It might have still been in the city of LA, but it wasn't really in the hood of LA. It was kind of outside of LA. But LA is a very big place. It was still Los Angeles. My son, who was one, turning two, a toddler, walking, my husband and I went into this Asian party store, and they had everything birthday. Every color balloon, all the cartoon character balloons, plain balloons, the plates, the cups, the spoons, the forks, the knives, the piñatas. They had everything you would want to have a party, probably except for jumpers. But we didn't need a jumper for a 1 year old turning two. Anyway, we go in there, we gather up everything that we're getting for my son's second birthday party, and we paid the wife. The husband was walking around the store. We didn't pay any attention to if we were being skulked and scoffed and mocked and watched. We didn't pay attention to that because at that time, like a lot of our people, we were not aware that we were hated by whole communities of people and they were raised to hate us. We didn't know that at the time. So I paid for the products. We're preparing to leave the store. My son, who's one, he grabs this little bitty bear. It was a cute, fuzzy brown bear, approximately the size of a fingernail, maybe thumbnail, maybe a little smaller than a thumbnail. And it had a tie back pin on it, kind of like you would pin to a man's tie or to a lapel. And he wanted it. And I'm like, uh, no, we're getting ready to go. We're already done. And he still wanted it. So I said, okay, fine. I paid the husband who was behind the counter at the time. The wife had gone off somewhere else. We paid for all the party supplies from the wife. I paid the husband like $1 and I think 8 cents when you add tax for the lapel pin or tie pin. And I pinned it onto my son and I snapped the back of it onto the pin and made sure I didn't prick him with the pin as I was putting it on him. And then we proceeded to leave the store. The wife comes over and she's like, thief, no pay, steal. and she's reaching for my 1 year old toddler. She put her hands on him, grabbing him, trying to take the pin off of him. Now, she could have made him fall. She could have made him crack his skull on any number of things. You know, he's a walking toddler at 1 year old. I put my hands on her. Hold up, homegirl. I don't know you from a can of paint or what you talking about, but you are reaching for my toddler, putting your hands on my baby. Me and her started boxing. Yes, I started kicking her entire behind. Yes, the thug of Yafa came all kinds of out. You don't put your hands on my baby about something he didn't do. So we're fighting. My husband's getting me off her. Her husband's getting me off me. I mean, getting her off me. And the baby's just standing like, what the heck? This fight wound up moving from inside the store outside the store. And everybody's looking at us fighting outside the store. And of course, you know, everybody's like, oh my God, there go the niggas again, acting a fool. You don't get to do that. What she did was dangerous to my son's health and to my son's life. He was 1 year old, a walking toddler who hadn't stolen anything, didn't have the capacity at 1 year old to pin that teddy bear to himself. I'm like, you need to get your wife. I paid you for this. Tell her that I paid you for this. These people are dangerous to us as a people. Hurry up and buy. Get out of our store. What do you want? Thief, thief, you're stealing. You're following us around. You're shooting us in the back. You're locking our parents in stores and the toddlers outside. Because if the toddler walks out the door before you, they can close the door and lock you in with your baby outside. Your baby can be snatched up while you're locked in these people's store. Parents have walked out of the stores and they've locked our children inside. These people have proven that they are dangerous to our lives as a people. And if we continue to go in their stores, we are setting the example for our children that it's okay to go in their stores without us. They have put their men have punched our women in the faces, have put our women into chokeholds, dragged us across the floor, kicked us, hit us with brooms, sticks, mops, bats. This is the way the Asian community businesses are treating our people inside of our communities. You don't even like us. We didn't know. Now, people say, oh, well, that's because black people don't have good customer service. Well, oh my gosh, this Asian stuff is not good customer service either. You don't want to go back to melanin rich people because you think they do bad customer service, but you keep going back to Asians who have horrendous customer service that can wind up with you locked up. They can call the police on you and have the police smoke you, have the police mishandle you when you haven't even done anything. My child hadn't done anything as a 1-year-old toddler. He hadn't stolen anything. We paid for every single thing that I had, every single thing that he had, which is the one bear he was wearing. Other than that, he had nothing in his hands. He had nothing in his hands. So I'm saying that to say we've been beat up. We've been locked in. Our children have been locked in. Our children have been locked out. We've been separated from our children by these people. When our men show up to put these people in check, some sisters, and I got to wonder if they are our sisters, are nuts. The brother man is doing what brother men do, what a brother man is supposed to do, which is to look out for the women in the community. And some of you fools have the audacity to go off on the brother for trying to secure you and shutting these businesses down. It's like, we don't even want you here because you're mistreating our women when we're not around. Because no matter what they say about, well, black people this and black people that, our people have never chased down or hunted down their children and shot them in the back. Our grown men have never done that to their children. And this society and system makes it okay to do anything you want to us. Everybody's mad at the so-called dominant society, but they don't have the kahunas to say anything to the dominant society. So they project their rage against the dominant society that has helped destroy their communities and their countries and their economies and their leaders, and they run over here into our ancestral homeland. And yes, it's our ancestral homeland. It's not a white country, it's a white dominated country because they came in and wound up outnumbering us. But what are your excuses? You guys are the majority number in your countries, in Jamaica and Haiti and Africa, Ghana, Somalia. You guys are the dominant population, and you're letting them totally control you. They needed help to control us, which is where all of these other so-called minorities come from. We are not that easy to control. So they have to make sure that everyone hates our people because we are a fighting spirit. We are a fighting period, people. We are a warrior class, always have been. Our ancestors were warriors, always have been. Well, the white people freed y'all. No, they did not. We made them free us. Our people kept fighting and rebelling. And Nat Turner was not the only rebellion. We were fighting and rebelling and turning over plantations every which way but Sunday. They was lynching us, we was lynching them. Somebody better ask somebody. Y'all must not, again, too many people don't know real history. That's why it's not taught. That's why it's not taught. But no, our people cannot continue to go into businesses that treat us that badly. When you go into our businesses, rude, bad attitudes, whatever you say, our people still don't drag you around the store and get into physical fights with their customers the way these people do. Even so-called white folk, when you walk into a white establishment, if you feel the hatred, you know how to walk out. Again, we have a long-standing, bad, abusive relationship going on between us and the dominant culture here. But we understand them and they understand us. All you new people, y'all don't understand, y'all don't know, y'all don't study, you don't research, you don't seem to want to know. We cannot continue to come inside your businesses that are in our community because we may not walk out with our lives. Our children may not walk out with their lives. That woman could have killed my 1-year-old toddler, grabbing at him the way she did, trying to pull the teddy bear off of him. She could have made him fall and crack his little skull on any number of things. And yes, I would have been in jail for killing her if she had killed my child. Yes. See, that's one thing about our people. We don't mind dying, we don't mind killing, and we don't mind going to jail to defend ourselves. The dominant society comprehends and understands that. They needed help with us. They needed help with us. So they brought in melanin-rich people from the Caribbean and melanin-rich people from Africa and people from Central and South America and made sure they had as much hatred and disdain for us as they do. We understand them. With all you other minority, so-called people of color, so-called marginalized community, with you guys, for our people, this reality check we have gotten is a betrayal. We expected it from them. We didn't expect it from y'all. It's a betrayal, and we're not going to continue to be betrayed. Now we're back on code. We know now that it's us against the world, that we have almost no allies. And we can't say no because there are so-called white allies, so-called Latino allies, so-called African and Caribbean allies. There are some, but as communities, it is not safe for our people to come into places where they don't want us anyway. So you've made it clear to us, we don't want you here. Hurry up and buy and get out of my store. Following us around, I'm making sure you don't steal something. Just hurry and get what you're getting and get out of my store. We have finally got your hateful memo. All of you people, minorities, marginalized community, people of color, Black and Brown coalition, we understand now. So none of y'all like us. So we are delineating and we are on code. So now we're going to have to almost classify y'all with the dominant society and the dominant culture because that's how you act. You accuse us of being hateful, but it's really not us. It's really not us. You don't want us? We understand. You made it very clear you don't want us in your stores, so we're not going to bother you anymore. We're going to leave you alone, and we're going to leave your stores alone, and we're going to take our money elsewhere because it's for our own safety, for our own survival, and to keep ourselves alive. Those of you that have listened this far, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for thumbing up. Share the information or share the video. Give it a like and or subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. Have a fabulous day and stay safe by staying out of stores that don't want you there.